Alright, so in today's video, we're going to discuss should Fox Sports fire Nick Wright from discussing basketball, football, any sports at all, more specifically basketball and the NBA, because this dude Nick Wright constantly says dumb stuff to get clicks, to get views, stuff like that, and it works because it gets me to click on stuff, but his integrity is just 100% like, he's 100% biased. His integrity, I can't believe anything he says. It's just Nick Wright, he's not a good analyst. Now, one of the clips I want to play off is just one of the dumbest things I've ever heard.
Because you've sat across from me or next to me for the better part of the last 3 years. This is the exact scenario why I despise instant replay. We've even done a pantomime on the set of me describing this exact play, which is technically that ball went off LeBron James. For 75 years of professional basketball and 125 years since Naismith invented the damn thing in Canada, or in Lawrence, Kansas, depending on who you believe, that is Lakers basketball. And through the advent of technology, the fact that this becomes Clippers basketball is not getting the call right and is not making the game better. And this is always Lakers ball. And what you will find out, and I've said this before, if you hold a basketball out in front of you and Broussard were to slap down on it, if we were to go frame by frame by frame, it almost assuredly goes off the bottom of my fingertips after it goes off you. Right. But for always, that's been called off the player that made the block, off the player that went for the steal. And changing that does not make the sport better. It is not why the Lakers lost. It is, but this is a pet issue of mine because instant replay continues across sports. It, in an attempt to make things better, makes things far worse.
Look,
Nick Wright said that the NBA should get rid of instant replay. Now let that sink in real quick. This dude, Nick Wright, this dude is an official analyst on Fox Sports. He said that the NBA should get rid of instant replay. Think about that for a second. Now, the reason why he said this is because on Christmas Day, it was the Lakers versus the Clippers, and when they played each other, it was the Patrick Beverley play where Patrick Beverley swiped the ball out of LeBron's hands, but then before the ball went out of LeBron's, it hits LeBron's hands again, and then they said that it was Clippers basketball. Clippers win that game. So then the next day, he goes on Fox Sports and says, we should get rid of instant replay. It's ruining the game of basketball. Oh, really? Instant replay is ruining the game of basketball. It's ruining sports. Yeah, right. Instant replay, I know it gets some criticism, but getting rid of the entire thing is instant replay. No, you want to get the call right. You want to make sure you can go back and look at things. Getting rid of instant replay is just dumb. It's stupid. That's a bad take. And here's another reason why I don't like him. It's okay to like somebody. I like Giannis Antetokounmpo, but I can acknowledge that last year, Giannis in the playoffs against the Toronto Raptors got locked up by Kawhi, Marc Gasol, OG, just everybody. He got locked up by the Toronto Raptors squad. And I'm a Giannis fan. I couldn't acknowledge that. But Nick Wright, he can't acknowledge that last year LeBron missed the playoffs. It didn't happen, according to him. He can't acknowledge that LeBron James is not LeBron didn't win every game in his career. He doesn't average 50 points. But Nick Wright, he talks as if LeBron averages 50 points, he never loses a game. Now, I get it. I get liking LeBron. He's a top 10 player of all time, but he has his faults like everyone else. He lost yesterday to the Toronto Raptors. He did. Can we just acknowledge that and we don't have to argue? Look, I like Giannis. I can acknowledge Giannis loses sometimes. He has his faults. He turns the ball over. I can admit that. And then when the Clippers beat the Lakers, Nick Wright basically said that, the Clippers, you guys should be fearing us. You guys should look at this game, look back at this game, and not be proud at all. There's nothing to take away from this game. There's nothing to take away from this game. The Clippers lost by 1 point to the Los Angeles Lakers, and they didn't have Lou Will or Trez Arrow. That's a positive. They held LeBron to under 20 points. That's a positive. But Nick Wright refuses to acknowledge this. Too much bias, too much just saying dumb takes, just dumb things. Nick Wright, man, should they fire him? No, but he shouldn't have his own show on Fox Sports. If anything, just put him with, I don't know, Chris Broussard. I know he's working with Rob Parker, but just an example. Just put him with somebody to keep this dude in check. He shouldn't have his own show. If it was up to me, pick somebody in the back at Fox Sports, give him a show. Or, I don't know, choose me in a couple years when I'm able to work for you guys. This dude, Nick Wright, just, no. He's not good for sports broadcasting industry. Should they fire him? No. But should he have his own show? Absolutely not.